And I could put up, I don't know, I could put up 10 signs what to look for if you think that someone's having those suicidal ideations. The number one, what would be at the top of that list for me? Intuition, guts, right? Pay attention to it. Meaning, if you think that there's a problem, there probably is. But denial is a more comfortable place to be, is it not? It's hard to accept that the person that you work alongside or someone in your family system or your kid is at that place. I think that we have to do a better job of asking a very tough question. Are you feeling suicidal? I think that we fear asking the question because we fear what? Exactly, because what happens if that person says yes? And in those moments, we often just panic, we talk. Elders always remind us that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason. And let me just give you a prime example of why I think it is so important to be direct. So I was speaking at a community where they had recently lost a young man to suicide. He was 15. And then that evening, I was doing a community event, and a father approaches me, and he shares with me how the conversation went with his son, who he knew was struggling with mental health. And being a typical father, a typical parent, he had a hard time initiating this conversation. So he approaches his son, and he says, are you okay? What does the son say? Yeah, I'm fine, Dad. Okay. So a couple days later, the dad asks the same thing. Are you okay? Same response. Third time, the dad says, I have to change this up. So the way that the dad chose to phrase it is he said, do you think about killing yourself? Which, as a parent, that is a very hard question to ask. What does the son say? Every single day, Dad. That's tough. But because the son said yes, because the question was so direct and he got a different answer, they had a very powerful and a very meaningful conversation. And thankfully, the son was willing to talk, was willing to access some of the local supports, and is in a much better place today. That is a prime example of why I feel like we cannot shy away from what is often a very difficult conversation.